Hey everybody, thanks for tuning back in. It's Lee here, Crypto Mainly. Just having a quick look at the summary screen. Got some exciting news today, actually. Exciting in the fact that, oh, to me it's exciting. Hopefully you'll find it exciting too. But for the first time, look, we've got some female audience in my channel, which is great. In crypto, tends to be mostly a male-dominated sort of scene. So you can see that actually, mostly this was 100% male audience up until 123 subscribers already. The channel's only been going a little while now, as you know, so thanks ever so much. Please don't be put off by the fact there's only a small number of subscribers. When you look at my channel, it's only very new. I am very experienced in the space. I've been around for 4 or 5 years in the space, and I've got a wealth of experience. Some of these 123 subscribers actually know me anyway and know my history and know the performance that I've had with trading up until now. The other people, you new people that are looking at the channel, won't know that and won't appreciate what you're getting into. So press that bell, like, subscribe, press the bell for notifications, and I'll try and keep you posted each and every day with what's happening with the market. And I will try and post at least one altcoin trade position set up each and every day. Obviously, if the market is presenting opportunity, of course, which is absolutely something which we don't have any control over whatsoever. So if the market is taking a turn for worse, and do go quiet for a day, I'll be back soon enough. So thanks ever so much for your efforts, particularly your comments on the videos. You've been giving me some good advice. At the moment, of course, what with the number of subscribers, I can read each and every comment. I can interact with you, and I can get some feedback. So anything that you could suggest, or shorter videos, longer videos, or what you'd like to see in the videos, anything like that is all I can see directly when you're making the comments now. It's not going to be lost in hundreds of thousands of comments. So if you've got anything you'd like to suggest, now's the time to do it. Please do that. And as I say, don't forget to turn on the bell so that when I go live and things, that you won't miss any urgent updates as I start to do live streaming in the near future. So just touching on base, you can follow me on Twitter at Crypto Mainly is my title there, and I've got an NFT launch on Opensea. Can't say very much about the NFT, what it's going to do in the future, or anything like that, because obviously there are some legal implications to doing that. So all I can say, guys, is the early bird catches the worm, as I've said on my posts on Twitter and things. The early bird catches the worm. I have put a promotional price up there for the next 24 hours for one particular NFT, but the prices will gradually creep up as time goes on. But the early adopters, I think, will be obviously taking the benefit of the coins, of the prices themselves, but also I think that as time goes on, I can always look back at the number of people that who bought the NFTs and when. The YouTube channel for me has started on the 20th of March, and it's a new venture for me. So at the moment, by you buying an NFT and investing in my project and my future, is something which obviously I'll consider, and I'll be able to look back on and see who were buying NFTs at the early stages and who was giving me the support that I needed in the early stages of my hopefully long career on YouTube. Anyway, guys, enough of me boring you. Let's get straight into the content. I'm just going to continue with the trend for this week, which is going to be the Bitcoin price. As we can see here, we've been talking about this rising channel for a while now, and also this descending resistance. Okay, so we were looking and talking about this triangle, and so obviously were most people on social media. A rising triangle like that would suggest that this is a reaccumulation pattern, and it's a bullish pattern, and that it's broken out to the upside. We spoke about the descending resistance in the past. People, I think, were tending to miss the fact that you've got this actual rising channel, which obviously people were paying more attention on this triangle, this triangular pattern here. So going back to the rising channel thing, but just to highlight that for you a little bit more clearly, so that you can see it for those people that are new. So this rising channel was something which I think we should have been paying attention to, and not necessarily that triangle. The rising triangle here, so the reaccumulation pattern that everybody and their neighbour seems to be talking about on Twitter. They are talking about the fact that it's broken above the 45,000 mark now, and that's a really significant. You'll also notice actually that it came back down. I'll just turn the drawings off for a minute. It did actually come back down and retest. So you see this wick here actually did retest that 45,000 and bounce off. So this wick here. But as I've been saying, for the past number of days now, ever since I've started the channel on the 20th of March, I've been warning you guys that I think that this triangular pattern here is actually a zone where we'll see bounces along the 45,000 as support, and everybody will be thinking, great, this is a confirmed breakout, it's rolling over, it's confirmed as support, and it will take off. And I suspect we'll either see one of two things: the support will fail and we'll come back down to the lower levels at the 78.6, which is around the 39,800 mark, or we'll see this type of pattern where we've got like bouncing around in this zone for a while. But bear in mind, guys, this will take a while. This could be like this could be a 2-week period. If we just take a measure from where we are now to like 3/4 of the way into the pattern, you do generally with Bitcoin get a move. When you get patterns like this and triangles and whatever else, you do get a move generally when you've reached around the sort of 70 to 75% of the pattern, roughly speaking. It's not, obviously it's not 100% accurate, but it is a very clear trend. If you go back through back test strategies and things, you'll see that once the price gets 3/4 of the way into a pattern, that's the point of breakout. And as you can see here, that's showing as 38 days. So I mean that's going to be over a month. It could potentially that from the start to the 3/4 of the way into the pattern. Let's see where we are from today's date. So if we do from today, from today's candle, and we just go around about sort of 3/4 into that triangle there, somewhere around there. So you're looking at 26 days. So effectively, price could actually stay in here for for another 3 or 4 weeks before we actually get a move to the upside or to the downside. Anything can happen. Market forces at play. It may be that the market makers decide to push the price through the resistance and carry on upwards, or that they want the price to actually drop back down at a certain strategic time in the month. So at the moment now we're at the beginning of April. It may be a possibility is that this consolidates all the way through April, and that we get a really nice some alt action followed by the move to the downside or the breakout perhaps towards the end of the month. That would make sense to me. So I mean, what I would suggest, guys, if you are entering to the alt positions, is that if you're entering into alt positions, maybe enter when Bitcoin is at around the 45 test, around this mark here, and maybe not enter positions when Bitcoin is pushing up against resistance, because these little small retracements on price on Bitcoin will translate to bigger moves on altcoins. So altcoins tend to outperform Bitcoin in either direction. So if you look at that as a 5% move, the chances are, if you enter an altcoin position at the top here when the price is at resistance, and then obviously Bitcoin rolls over and comes back down to the 45, that's a 5% move down to the downside, which could be could translate to a 15% correction in the altcoin that you're trading. But as I say, guys, I've always said this: it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not qualified to tell you what to do with your money. All I'm trying to do is share my experience with you. I'm an experienced trader. I've been in the space since sort of November 2018. And I've made my mistakes along the way, and I've learned from experience, and I just want to share some of those experiences with you. Everybody at the moment seems to be in the market is looking at a bullish bias, and in fact, you could argue that is if you were ignoring the fact that this rising channel was here, and you've got this descending resistance coming down here, and you were just looking at this blue rising triangle, yes, this would be a bullish pattern. This is a reaccumulation. You've got your bullish breakout. It's come back down for the retest, and it's going to continue on. So there is an argument for both sides. But I suspect, based on my experience, is that we'll get another drive up to possibly the top of this, this resistance. Whether that happens over the next week or even longer than that, perhaps we get some consolidation and then another push and then the rollover. But there's going to be a couple of weeks of sideways action, shall we say, and therefore the altcoins will do well, whilst Bitcoin is traveling in that sideways direction. Because when you've got sideways price action from Bitcoin, the altcoins do tend to do particularly well, particularly when the dominance is falling like it is at the moment. So if I just show you the dominance, so I'm just going to a different template on my trading view. Some of you will see what I'm doing here, but some of you won't. So sorry about that. I've got different templates set up for different things that I'm looking at. And you can see that we've talked about this before. We talked about the bounce that happens. So you can see the dotted line there. I'll just make that a little bit more clear for you there, so you can see the dotted line. This is what we were talking about, a week ago, that we were going to get this bounce and then come down, and then possibly it would get a bounce up to trend line and then roll over. But in actual fact, the alts have done really well, and it's come back down. It's broken down through the neckline of this M pattern, and in fact, that's actually getting very close to the base of this rising channel here. So the measured move, and this kind of this movement here is going to be complete when it gets to the bottom of this of the rising channel, which is around about the 41.3%. So when it gets down there, perhaps that's when we'll see something like this, where we get something like this, where we get the dominance bounce back up, retest the probably retest the bottom of this support area here. Basically, it could go all the way up to the top there and then roll over. But of course, altcoins will not necessarily do particularly well as this travels to the upside, if that does happen. But as I say, if Bitcoin, if dominance does collapse and just keep going down, which is a possibility, then the alts will do exceptionally well. But I don't know. I'm just wondering. I think that if we look back at the Bitcoin chart. So as I said before, I'm looking for some kind of push up into this, into an entry here, and then the price to roll over and actually come back down. This short position is something that I am looking to take. I haven't actually entered. Sorry, I made a small entry at the wick high. So the wick went up to the 47,150 mark, which I've been speaking about for a while. So I have made an entry there and put a stop loss, but I'm actually going to add to the position, because I suspect what will happen is that the push will come up into this is actually going to push up again, possibly even up to the upper trend line, and then roll over. So if it does get into this zone, I will actually be adding to the short position that I've got. Just looking at this now, actually the stop that I've got there is quite close to this trend line. So what would be a better scenario is to perhaps move the stop up above there, so that if we get this push up to here and then we get the rejection, we've got a clear. So the new stop loss for this is actually 49,200, and I think actually that's what I'm going to do, because I do think that this next drive, if you like, is going to be quite it's going to have quite a good attempt at breaking through that upper resistance. And oh, hello. And why do I say that? So if you look at the this pattern here, this could very easily change into something like this, where you've got this retest and you've got this bounce, and it comes back down, maybe even retests again, and then starts to attack this resistance again. If that does that, then of course you've got this sensation where you've got a low and a higher low, and the strength of this move is going to be the measure of the center. So from to the high, if price action does does make its way back up there, then the measured move from that, if you like, will take us back up to the 49,500, which is obviously, that's if this turns into a W pattern. I mean, there's a lot of ifs and buts basically, but that's the same with anything with technical analysis. That's what we're looking for. These are the things that we're looking for. And some people will be watching this thinking, well, what is it? What's it going to do? You're saying it might do this, if that. But the problem is with experience. When you're an experienced trader, after time, it takes a long time to learn this. But you have to have a validation and an invalidation point in your trading, and that's why you're using stop losses and why you're having targets that you're using, because at each minute that goes by, if you think about cryptocurrency, the market doesn't close, so it's trading 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Therefore, every hour that goes by, you have more data and more information to work from on the chart. So the market is shifting all the time, even to a point where I've noticed over the last week or more, is that I'm making content in the day, and by the time that we've looked at it, we've edited it, and we've put it up online, and it's been uploaded, and all the thumbnails are added and everything else, you know, things actually have started to already change in the market, and perhaps change in the you know, some of the content that's gone out is already started to mature slightly in a different direction. But you know, short-term analysis is quite is easier, shall we say. It's easier to do a short-term analysis when you've got like a live stream, or when people are watching and you can see what's happening there and then. It's much more difficult to do short-term analysis when you're uploading the video. It's edited and things 3 hours after the point that you've actually put the content out. So I'm looking at ways that I can combat that in the future. I'm looking at maybe doing some quick snapshot single alt videos, you know, less than sort of 3 to 5 minutes long, just one altcoin, what, you know, wide to white, without all the, you know, the background of, you know, why I think you should be purchasing it and all the rest of it. Just very quick ones. And also like a longer version of like a weekly summary where we go through, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum and that type of thing, you know, the sort of the market dynamics and the macro dynamics. But the thing is, the reason I've put so much content out over this last couple of weeks about Bitcoin and Ethereum is because I think that this is going to play a key role. As you'll know, if you've been in the industry long enough, that, you know, that Bitcoin and Ethereum control the market basically. So you know, from a trading point of view, from a risk point of view, you know, I exited my this long position, sorry, on Ethereum, somewhere in this resistance. But you can see actually it's starting to break through, and it's starting to try and push higher. So some people, you know, have already DM'd me and said, "Oh, I think this is a mistake. You've told us to exit this long position." I haven't told anybody to do anything. I've just put a video out there, and people have watched it, and that's they're sort of, you know, making their own decisions. But you know, they're almost like this is a mistake, and that, you know, we should have just left it. Some of the altcoins are continuing higher, but from a risk point of view, from a professional trading point of view, Bitcoin is at resistance. It broke through resistance and it failed, and is now building some kind of what you call like it's rolled over now like a mini bottoming pattern, and going to have a second attempt at trying to break through. But when you've got Bitcoin like that, and now Ethereum, which is also, it hasn't broken out yet. If you look at that ascending resistance line there, you know, Ethereum hasn't broken out yet either. So everybody that's sort of popping the champagne corks and everything because we're above 45,000 need to be a little bit careful, in my opinion. You know, and I certainly am being careful at the moment. I'm taking some selective trades now, based on the you know, so single trades with quite tight stop losses. And the reason for that is because some of the charts and things like I posted yesterday, Axie Infinity, that is looking like a fantastic chart. And but you know, over the years, what I've noticed is you can have charts that look absolutely fantastic, and you focus your attention on that particular chart for that particular altcoin. You take the trades based on what you can see. Bitcoin rolls over, and it drags Ethereum and all of the market down with it, and it changes that altcoin pattern that you were watching for maybe a month or more into something completely different. So you know, you've got to consider that when you're trading. It is high risk. So if you're thinking about risk management, then you wouldn't be entering trades necessarily whilst Bitcoin is against resistance and Ethereum is at resistance, and it's been trying to break through for a while now and not being able to do so. In fact, you could say that this is a high above the resistance there that failed, came back down, and we're now printing a lower high, and we are at this point looking like we're rolling over. We haven't made it. You know, this is a high, this is a lower high, and we haven't broken yet even this high. So there could be that this is, you know, we could end up with something which looks like this. You've got a high there, you've got a lower high there, you've got a lower high here, you've got a lower high here. We end up coming, you know, something like this down, and then breaking through that support. Anyway, guys, I've said it before on each video, and I'm sorry to repeat myself, but thank you very much for taking the time to comment on the videos, for liking and subscribing. I understand now why some of the content creators, or most of them actually, talk about please like and subscribe and all the rest of it whilst they're doing the videos. And you know, when even when I'm watching that, sometimes I feel a little bit irritated by that. But there's of the people that are watching my videos at the moment, there's 45% of the people that are watching the video are not subscribed. So if you do find interest, and you found something of value in the content, please make sure you do press that bell for notification, because I will be trying to help you along the way to protect yourself from the influences, shall we say, of social media. If I see something different and I feel that you know that social media is pointing everybody and steering everybody in the wrong direction, and creating the catalyst for, you know, a massive liquidation event of over $1 billion in 24 hours again, I will try to protect you from that, and I will try and make you aware of that. I won't get it right every time. All that I can do is share my experience with you, and hopefully, you know, there's you know, my success rate in trading is somewhere between 75 and 85% success rate, which is great. That's fantastic. It's very high. The danger from that is, of course, if you're watching my content daily and you're making trade positions and you're winning trades, you know, 70-80% of the time, the time that you put too much of your your investment portfolio, or too much of your finances into a particular trade that I'm demonstrating on the screen, if you decide to enter it and you enter it heavily, that will be the one that turns against you, that costs you an absolute fortune, and you'll, you know, soon lose all of the gains that you've made up until that point. So please, guys, please, if you don't know anything about risk management, learn about risk management. Always protect yourself. Don't take this as financial advice. Do your own research, and you know, only put money into the market that you're prepared to lose, and make sure that you protect yourself by only putting a small amount, maybe 2 to 5% of your portfolio, into any one coin or any one proposition. So please, guys, remember that obviously it's not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but you know, make sure that you protect yourselves, guys, and don't trust even somebody that's got a high hit rate. I'll get it wrong time and time again. I've been proven wrong in the past. I've made mistakes in the past, and you know, I will be wrong along the way. So please don't get comfortable. Please don't get too too brave with the content that I'm sharing out there, and you know, make sure that you look after yourselves. Okay, guys, thanks ever so much for watching, and ladies, welcome, and thank you for subscribing. We'll see you next time. All the best. Take care. Always remember, guys, take profits and buy something real. Take care now.